Welcome to Mystic Mondays, your dose of magic from the mystical realms where ancient wisdom meets modern day magic, and spiritual insights from the heart of the Crystal Coven Mystic Cottage. In each episode, we'll guide you through a journey of spiritual insights, moonlit musings, and enchanted discussions on all things mystical, magical, and metaphysical. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or a curious seeker, or simply looking to start your week with a little extra enchantment, you're in the right place. So stir the cauldron, light your candles, brew some tea, and step into the sacred circle where the magic begins.
Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to Mystic Mondays from the hearth of the Crystal Coven Mystic Cottage. I'm your host, Shannon, and as always, I want to thank you for spending a little time with me. Whether you're driving to work, tending to your garden, folding laundry, or simply needing a peaceful place to land for a while, I'm so grateful that you're here. We're standing at a very special place on the wheel of the year, not a Sabbath, not a holiday, not even a magical date that everyone marks on their calendar. Instead, we're standing at a crossroad, the halfway point of the year. And can you believe it? Somehow we've already lived 6 months of this year. Some of us have experienced incredible growth. Others have survived things we've never expected, and some dreams have bloomed while others quietly fall away. And yet, I don't want us to judge any of that. I simply want us to pause. Because one of the greatest magical skills of any practitioner, or honestly any human being, is to develop the ability to stop for a moment to ask, where am I? How did I get here? And where do I truly want to go next? This episode isn't about productivity. It isn't about making another list of goals. It isn't about pushing yourself harder. Instead, it's about listening to yourself, listening to spirit, and listening to the quiet wisdom that often gets drowned out by everyday life. So settle in, take a slow breath, pour yourself a cup of tea, and let's spend some time together at the crossroads. The crossroads appear in almost every magical tradition around the world. They represent choice, transition, transformation, the place where one road ends and another begins. Our Appalachian ancestors understood the crossroads in a practical way. They were a place where travelers met, where stories were exchanged, where bargains were made, and where people departed in different directions. But spiritually, the crossroads became much more. They became a place where the physical and the spiritual worlds seemed to overlap, a place where endings and beginnings touched, a place where answers sometimes appeared, not because spirit suddenly started speaking louder, but because we finally became quiet enough to hear. But here's something that I've learned over the years. Life isn't lived in straight lines. We imagine that it will be. We grow into adulthood, we find a career, we build a life, everything neatly unfolding. But instead, there's life twists, turns, loops back, and surprises. Sometimes we arrive somewhere completely different than where we even expected, only to realize it was exactly where we needed to be. The crossroads reminds us that change isn't failure. It's simply another path opening. Now let's be honest just for a moment. How many of us have started January saying, this is going to be my year. This is a year everything changes. This is the year I'll get healthier, heal, learn a skill, write a book, meditate every day, drink more water, sleep better. But life happened, and suddenly half the year is gone. But if you're anything like me, there's a temptation to look backward with disappointment. But here's what Spirit keeps whispering. Growth is rarely visible while it's happening. Trees don't announce that they're growing. Mountains don't rush. Rivers don't apologize for changing direction. And neither should we. One of my favorite beliefs in folk spirituality is that every season has its harvest. Sometimes we recognize it immediately. Sometimes we don't. Maybe your harvest was related to confidence. Maybe your harvest was learning to say no. Maybe it was finally resting. Maybe your harvest was surviving. And please don't underestimate survival. Sometimes survival in itself is sacred work. Sometimes getting through difficult months is the miracle. We often measure success by what we've accumulated. Spirit often measures success by what we've become. Let's think about that, because those are two very different things. Now, mid-year is also time to ask what has quietly left my life. Some relationships may have ended. Some habits may have disappeared. Some fears may no longer hold the same power. Sometimes we grieve what leaves. Other times, we don't even notice until months later that we no longer carry something that was way too heavy. Releasing isn't always dramatic. Sometimes healing is almost invisible. One day you just simply realize that the thing doesn't control you anymore, and that's magic. Now there's one lesson I have had to learn, and maybe you have too, and that is not every opportunity deserves a yes. Sometimes practitioners become collectors of books, herbs, ideas, projects, goals, dreams, and before long, we're trying to walk 15 different roads at once. The Crossroad teaches us something different. All you have to do is choose one road and walk it well. You don't have to do everything. You only have to do what is yours. And one of my favorite practices during this time of the year is refreshing my altar. Not because everything is wrong, but we've changed. Your altar should evolve as you evolve. Remove objects that no longer resonate. Dust every surface. Light a fresh candle. Offer fresh water. Replace wilted herbs. Add something that represents where you're going, not just where you've been. Maybe that's a key, a feather, a stone, a handwritten intention. Allow your sacred space to become a reflection of your current spirit. Now, I want to take a few minutes to speak directly to the person listening who feels that they're behind. Maybe you're comparing yourself to everyone else. Maybe you're disappointed. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe your life didn't unfold the way that you imagined. Please hear this. You are not behind. You're simply living your own timeline. Nature never apologizes for blooming at different times. There are some flowers that bloom early spring, while others wait until late summer. Some trees bear fruit every year, while others take decades. Spirit isn't timing you with a stopwatch. Spirit is allowing you to grow in seasons. All you have to do is trust the season that you're in. Now, with one final stir of the cauldron, as we move into the second half of the year, I invite you to stop measuring your life only by accomplishments. Measure it by peace. Measure it by wisdom. Measure it by kindness. Measure it by courage. Measure it by how often you return to yourself. The Crossroads isn't asking you to have every answer. It's only asking you to choose the next step with intention. So remember, magic isn't always found in grand rituals or elaborate ceremonies. Sometimes the greatest magic is simply choosing to continue, to keep believing, to keep healing, to keep becoming. One step, one day, and one season at a time. Until next time, may your path be blessed, may your home be peaceful, may your heart remain open, and may the magic that you seek always begin within you. Blessed be.
Thank you for joining us in the sacred space of Mystic Mondays. May the insights shared today illuminate your path and bring harmony to your soul. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow, subscribe, and connect with us at the Crystal Coven Mystic Cottage. You can find us on several social media platforms as well as Patreon, where the magic never ends. Just look for the Crystal Coven and Salem the Shop Cat in the logo, or check out the show notes for more information. Until next time, stay mystical, stay magical, and trust in the universe. Blessed be.